protection. All right. I have no idea where the last lecture left off, so hopefully it's completely charged. I unplugged it because I thought maybe it was. I hoped it was. Felt kind of warm. So anyway, I have no idea where the last lecture left off. We're going to pick up at negligence. If I missed something, come and talk to me. Okay. What is negligence?
Similar to standard of care, it's failing to provide that standard of care. Basically, not acting in the same way someone in a similar situation would act.
Okay, so it's a failure to provide the same care that a person of similar training would in a similar situation. Holy long definition.
Also may result in further injury to the patient.
Okay, as we discuss what it means to be guilty of negligence, we're going to use a patient care scenario. You get dispatched to a 47-year-old female, pulseless and apneic, CPR in progress. You respond, you jump in your rig and you respond, which means you now have a duty to act. Okay? In this duty to act, your response to that patient, there are some things that you do when you get to the patient's side if you're doing your duty appropriately. You assume CPR, right? Unless the bystanders are doing a great job, in which case you encourage them, you get your AED, you get your oxygen out, you get ready to take over when they're exhausted. Or you say, hey, let's do pit crew CPR, boom, 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 right? So you get to the patient and you say, we're going to take over CPR, we've got it from here. Okay? So you start doing CPR and you're in the middle of CPR and your partner is doing mouth-to-mask ventilations. You got your oxygen bottle over here, but you forgot. You forgot your oxygen was there, so you didn't put oxygen on your patient. Okay? Would a person who's similarly trained as you in that similar situation, would they remember to put oxygen on?
Probably.
You would hope so. You're expected to, right? So you have a duty to act. You breached that duty by not putting oxygen on. Okay? You screwed up. You made a mistake. You didn't put oxygen on. Your patient survives, but she's got brain damage. Is that brain damage your fault because you forgot to put oxygen on?
Maybe. Lack of oxygen would cause brain damage.
Lack of oxygen could cause brain damage. So all the attorney has to do is make a judge and a jury believe that causation, those damages occurred as a direct result of your breach. I try to pare this down to just a couple of words, so I usually don't even put duty to act in here, I just put duty. Duty, breach, damages, causation. It's easier for me to remember. That's what defines negligence. Duty, breach, damages, causation. Now, if you had chosen to not respond to that patient at all, would you be guilty of negligence?
If you hadn't left in the first place? No.
If you hadn't left in the first place.
Not
in the state of Idaho. Because you don't have a duty to act. You can't prove negligence if there's no duty. In order to prove negligence, you have to have all four of these components. Okay? Negligence falls under tort claims. Tort claims are civil claims, not criminal. What is another type of tort or civil suit that could be filed against you?
I hadn't got this far in the chapter yet.
Okay. All right, how about abandonment? What is abandonment?
You stop providing care.
You stop providing care, or you turn care over to someone whose level of licensure is less than yours.
Is that, say like a paramedic is there and they hand it to an EMT, but it's something an EMT is able to do. Is that still the same
It's
thing?
not abandonment.
Okay, just as long as they're able to provide whatever care is needed for the patient?
Yep.
Okay.
Or whatever care has already been started by the paramedic.
Okay.
Like if a paramedic starts an IV, they can't then turn the patient over to an EMT.
Okay.
But as long as they're not administering any drugs in that IV and they're only using it as a volume expander, they can hand that patient over to an advanced EMT.
Okay.
Make sense?
Just as long as the care is able to be provided for the patient at
Yes.
that level.
At that level.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. How about some criminal charges?
Assault and battery and kidnapping.
Hey, you did read that part in the book
Just now.
just now. Because it's bold-faced or highlighted or something and it was easy to notice.
So was abandonment, but I didn't realize the structure of the chapter yet, so.
You're 3 chapters in and you don't know the structure of the book yet?
No, just this part of the book. I was looking for bolded words, not blue words.
All right, what is assault?
Unlawfully placing your hands on a person?
No, it's putting a person in fear that they're going to be hurt and bodily harm. So if I tell you I'm going to kick your butt, I've just committed assault.
Only if I'm scared of you.
If you're scared of me.
If I'm not scared of you, you didn't assault me.
So loud.
How could you, as an EMT, be charged with assault?
Saying you're going to restrain a patient?
Yeah, if you're threatened to restrain a patient who doesn't want to be restrained, or who doesn't need to be restrained. What is battery?
That's when you
That's
actually
actually putting your hands on them.
I have such a hard time keeping the two of these straight.
I feel like assault should be the other way.
Assault should be the other way, in my opinion.
Me too.
I'm going to write this as the laying on of hands.
So if you tell somebody I'm going to tie you to the gurney and take you to the hospital, and then you touch them.
How are you going to tie them if you don't
grab
touch them?
Yeah, you grab them, try to take them toward the ambulance. Ding ding.
Yep. This could also be trying to treat a patient without consent. Okay? And then we have kidnapping. Oh, kidnapping. What's kidnapping?
Taking somebody who doesn't want to be taken?
Taking somebody who doesn't want to be taken. The definition of kidnapping, according to my notes, which means hopefully according to your book, is seizing, confining, abducting, or carrying away by force. So, if you transport someone against his or her will, you could be sued or charged with kidnapping. Charged, not sued. Sued is civil. Okay. Now, usually EMTs are paramedics, advanced EMTs, EMRs, they are usually charged with false imprisonment rather than kidnapping, because that seizing, carrying away, whatever, was done with good intent. You had no intent to cause harm to your patient. So usually EMS providers, when they are charged with false imprisonment. Oh, that's a lot better. False imprisonment is the unauthorized confinement of a person. All right. Let's talk about defamation and a couple types of defamation. What are the two types of defamation that we need to be worried about or concerned about?
Libel,
Libel,
slander,
slander. What's the difference?
written, spoken.
Written and spoken. And I try to remember these by thinking libel sounds like library, which is written stuff.
Slander being slang.
Or S&S, spoken, you know. What is the definition of defamation?
Something that damages somebody's reputation.
Something that damages someone's reputation, but a little bit more specific.
It's not true.
Yeah, false information that damages someone's reputation. If you tell the truth about someone and it damages their reputation, are you still guilty of defamation?
No.
No. We already talked about your mandatory reporting requirements. As an EMT, you may wind up in court. You could wind up in court as a witness or as a defendant. Your case could be either civil or criminal, and you need to be prepared to testify. One of the easiest ways for you to be prepared to testify is for you to have written a complete and accurate patient care report at the time of the incident. Don't make yourself look stupid. The other lawyer is going to try doing that for you. He doesn't need your help.
So if it isn't in your report, it didn't happen.
Yeah, if it isn't in the report, it didn't happen. Even if you say that, you know that case we were talking about where we thought maybe we would be guilty of negligence? Even if you say, oh yeah, we used oxygen, we used 15 liters. You didn't document it. If you didn't document it, did it happen? It's unlikely that you will ever go to trial because most cases are settled in the discovery phase or following the discovery phase. Okay, questions about Chapter 3? No? Chapter 4 is communication and documentation. That's another boring chapter. And in Chapter 5, we start medical terminology. You can go ahead and shut it off.